Hey everyone, it's Joe from What If in Wrestling. This is your previews and predictions for Dynamite tomorrow night on TBS. So the way I see MJF and CM Punk going down is I feel like Tony Khan's going to postpone the match. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that they're going to postpone the match due to some sort of injury, whether it happens in the ring or a backstage attack. Me personally, how I would do it is I would have CM Punk demand in his locker room an interview with Tony Schiavone. I would put the cameraman in the far corner to a door, and I would have Wardlow, once again being paid by MJF, to break into the door, to have MJF go in and rattle CM Punk. Right? So he breaks through the door, the camera pans to him, seeing him break through the door. Tony Schiavone gets nervous, goes in the other corner, opposite the cameraman, and we have a stare down between MJF and CM Punk. And the way I think this goes down is I think that it goes down where CM Punk gets attacked by Wardlow because MJF is paying him, and they postpone this match for a few more weeks till the pay-per-view. I don't think Tony Khan gives away the match. I don't think he's going to give away that match on TV. I think he's going to postpone it because, let's be honest, this is how the business works. You postpone it, he gets injured, right? We all know how that works, and he's good and prepared for the pay-per-view. Which by that time, you're going to have MJF talk crap for the next few weeks on saying how much greater he is and how much better he is than CM Punk, and even how much better he is than him, but also how he's going to win the match. So I think the way it happens is it happens on the pay-per-view. They do a gimmick match, whether they do a steel cage and they enclose the match so nobody can get in and interfere, or they do some sort of stipulation, because we all know how much MJF loves stipulations. But I think for sure that they're going to postpone this match to Revolution. I can't see them doing it this week on Dynamite in Chicago, in the Wintrust Arena, on Wednesday night. I can't see it. I can't see it because then you can make it believable that MJF could possibly win, but everybody's betting on CM Punk because he's home, so everybody's going to believe, oh, he's going to win. But I don't think that's the case. I don't think that it's a match at all. I think that they do either a backstage attack / interview, or something happens even in the ring. I mean, you could do it in the ring too, but I don't foresee that happening. I foresee something happening where they postpone the match to go to Revolution, and then once they get to Revolution, then they can figure out how they want to gimmick the match. Do they want to make it a steel cage? Do they want to make it some sort of last man standing match? But I think either way, I think MJF hands CM Punk his first loss. I think like what we saw last week on Rampage, Orange Cassidy handing Adam Cole his first loss really wasn't a big deal considering the kind of match it was. But I think even for these guys, MJF and CM Punk, I don't think it's such a bad thing, because CM Punk losing to MJF's a main event guy. He's probably the biggest heel in the business right now. There's nobody else that's better. I mean, some people might argue Roman Reigns is better, but I'm sorry. You know, WWE's got one main event guy who can push the limits and really put himself over. And then after how many years, they finally decide to change him heel. Listen, I don't take anything away from anybody. I think everybody does a great job as far as getting over like a Roman Reigns and a Seth Rollins. But I don't think there's a better heel than MJF. And the comparison to The Miz, I think, was just a funny thing that they just kind of threw out there. And I think that was great. But I think they go with either an injury, postponing it to the pay-per-view where he got attacked, or something that maybe even MJF comes out and says he got injured just in everyday life and they have to postpone the match to the pay-per-view. I don't think it happens this week on Dynamite in the Wintrust Arena in Chicago. I think that MJF pushes and postpones this match somehow, and we get this match at the pay-per-view, and I think that there's going to be pay-per-view buys because of it. Because again, this isn't about a title. There's no title at stake. Everybody knows that. This is beyond titles. This is about bragging rights. This is about a really good babyface that everybody loves and wants to see win, and a really badass heel. And for my money, I'm going with MJF because I love MJF. I love CM Punk too, don't get me wrong. Big fan, longest time. But I do want to see MJF win in this feud. I do want him to then carry on to possibly moving forward with some other things that I think that is going to be great. But again, they don't need a title in this feud. This feud is nothing but bragging rights. This is a great example of what great long-term booking does for you. This is clearly, I want to win, I'm better than you. Whether it's your catchphrase or not, that's what this is about. This is not about a title. These guys don't need titles. We'll cover titles in a next video coming up, and I'll explain to you guys why I think that titles aren't necessary for some people and why they are for certain other people. Well, we'll get into that in a future video. But for now, this is what I think, and this is the what if in wrestling. So please tell me, what do you think? What do you think is going to happen this Wednesday night on Dynamite in the Wintrust Arena in Chicago? Do you think CM Punk's going to get his hands on MJF? Or do you think MJF's going to weasel out of another wonderful beating from another wonderful adversary? You let me know. What if in wrestling? What if you booked it? How would you book it? Comment down below. If you liked the video, please share and subscribe and hit that like button. And I'll see you guys next time on another What If in Wrestling. Bye-bye.